Ladies and gentlemen, this is a conceptual look at what Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Zombies is. This is going all around my Twitter feed of the main menu of how the game could actually look like. And it's so funny that people thought that this was real because I'm gonna be honest, this fits with the current Call of Duty setting of the live service that they're actively trying to put out. But you can obviously tell with the players joining in this game that it's gonna be fake. One of them obviously is my man Mr. Dalek JD, but I wanted to give this gameplay a watch with you guys just to show that if this conceptual gameplay is worse than what we are about to get, that is going to genuinely be one of the saddest things I've ever seen. So let's skip to the gameplay here. They got a little bit of a loading screen here with the Chicago. I like how minimalistic it is, and I think that this could be what Modern Warfare Zombies is about, and I like the way you kind of like blink to spawn in here. And so it's cool that there is conceptual gameplay out there, and a lot of people on Twitter really thought that this was going to be real, including myself, because it really, this looks like MW2 campaign mission from last year, right? And so you got the little voice comms as well from Outbreak and Cold War. And I know a lot of people aren't necessarily too happy about this because this is basically what Vanguard did. This is what Cold War did. It blows my mind that Vanguard happened and they don't even decide to make the next game round-based. Like, all of that happened where the outcry of round-based was there. And so I just love the ambience in this League gameplay as well, where it really feels like I've never really felt like this type of way in zombies. Like World War II tried to be scary. A lot of older zombie maps tried to be scary, but they didn't really go towards that. And obviously, since it's fake, they don't show any zombies. But I'm going to say if that is better than what we get later on, I don't even know what to tell you. But I wanted to spend this time watching M3RKMUS1C's video talking about MW3 Zombies because I agree with his main point. Buy the game for the multiplayer MW2 remaster maps, but don't buy it for MW3. I suggest people try it, but listen, if you're going to support this game, actually like it. I hate to see when players are saying, oh yeah, I love the game, but then I don't actually want to play it. Like, you're going to become a metric for Call of Duty to say, yes, we should continue these type of game modes if you spend more time on it. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's watch
M3RKMUS1C thrive the way that it does in Treyarch games. So if this is going to be the direction that they decides to go with, keeping Call of Duty yearly and not just making one
Call of Duty is yearly whether we like it or not.
I think that the zombies mode, the classic traditional zombies that Treyarch cultivated, should just stay in their games.
Absolutely
because
should
clearly
be
they have
Treyarch
not been able
only.
to replicate that success for the zombies
The
mode.
only good relative zombies mode, and I think a lot of people can agree with this, that we've ever had was IW Zombies, Infinite Warfare. An absolute classic, but a lot of that was due to Lee Ross. And now that we don't have people like David Vonderhaar and Jason Mundell, what's to say that we get that level of direction back in Zombies, you know? So
in other types
so
of games.
true.
And to build off of that, when they release zombies in a Treyarch Call of Duty game, there should be roughly 2 to 3 round-based zombies maps that have Easter eggs. They're all ready to go at launch, and then we can...
I mean, it's wild because D-Machine was the first time in years, I think ever, since World at War, that we got one round-based zombies map from a Treyarch game at launch. That is insane. BO1 had Kino M5, BO2 had all the transit subsection maps, BO3 had the Giant and Shadows of Evil, BO4 had 4 maps, Cold War was the first to break that cycle. So I agree, more round-based maps post-launch would be the best bet.
Round-based zombies maps
just regular zombies,
you know? Now, as far as it goes for mod support, I think it's very unlikely that they would ever do that again, because
I always say the game that will ever beat BO3 will be the game that introduces custom mod support for console and PC. But I've talked to a lot of people that have been on the inside of Call of Duty, and they really just don't believe that that's going to end up being a thing that happens, which sucks because I think BO3 is mainly alive because of the gameplay that you're seeing right now.
Support in Black Ops 3 was a mistake.
Yeah,
it's made it very hard for people to stop having interest in Black Ops 3, to
100%.
stop playing it, to stop playing the modded experiences, and move on and enjoy new things that they create. They essentially dug themselves in a hole, and they're trapped. They can't get out. they basically made Black Ops 3 Zombies the pinnacle of Call of Duty Zombies in the entire franchise.
Which is why I think they are trying to do modes like DMZ Zombies, and now they have a section of DMZ players, an audience there, and zombies, and because of Warzone, they have to segregate the two. They can't make all these modes with enough quality and flavor for every single audience, and so it worries me now, because is Zombies just going to be a Warzone tie-in now until its death? There's a high possibility that that could be the thing.
And the only way they can ever top it is if they just keep putting mod support in the games.
Exactly.
Which it doesn't seem like that's what they want to do anymore. If you put mod support in future Call of Duty games and allow the community to carry the zombies,
it's the only way it can be fixed. I agree.
Then you don't have to waste as much time, energy, and effort into necessarily making the base zombies good, because the community will just do that for you. The zombies community is a very passionate community, and they have the creativity and the talent to make it happen. So while
that's why I genuinely believe that at this point, like, it's not even up to the developers, it's just them giving us the tools. If we get tools from a modern warfare system for zombies, that would save zombies indefinitely, and they would not have to put any big resources. They can do whatever the heck they want. DMZ, Warzone, zombies, whatever they want, Outbreak, whatever. As long as we get the tools, that is where I think people will finally get off of BO3 after 8+ years of playing, including myself. I love BO3. And so it's such a true statement. It's
extremely unlikely that any future Call of Duty game will get mod support, especially for the zombie side of things.
Which is horrid.
I think it would be great for them to consider bringing it back.
I
agree.
Lastly,
I think you guys know where I'm going with this.
It would save a whole community.
They should try to emulate the success of Zombies Chronicles 2. They could easily sell that DLC. It doesn't have to be free. I mean, ideally...
Should have been in BO4. Should have been in Cold War. Will it be in COD 2024? Probably not. Like, I mean, we are the people that have to do it. The #1 selling DLC on PS4 of all time, and they refuse to make it because of bundles. That is insane to me, bro.
It would insane be free because it's probably going to be remastered maps.
Yeah.
But if they don't see financial viability in Call of Duty Zombies, this could be their ticket back in.
Yeah.
Selling us Zombies Chronicles 2
#1
for,
selling DLC,
bucks,
by the way.
8 remastered maps, possibly even more, depending on, how generous they're feeling on that day. I think those three things are the only way that Call of Duty Zombies can kind of return back to greatness, to become what it was in Black Ops 3. But even then, it's still...
They have to launch themselves off the nostalgia of the Victus maps, because a lot of people loved BO2 Zombies. And then from that point, they either give us mod tools to continue to create things and have console support, or we just get the same Warzone zombie maps, and zombie just in perpetuity just starts declining, and it just will be a sad ending. It's so true.
Still not going to be as good. It's just not possible.
It's
the way that zombies for Call of Duty has gone over time is that it was on an upward trend, and then Black Ops 3 is really where it peaked. And ever since then, it's just been going down. And if they do the suggestions that I have just provided, it would bring it back up, but it would not be able to peak higher than what Black Ops 3 did,
agree.
Which is why I'm going to offer up a fight.
The only thing that could is mod tools on console. The problem with custom maps is that there's so many console players that cannot play these maps, like the Zombie Chronicles 2 maps that we're playing. And so if that is ever to happen, that would change the game forever.
Which I think is the best case scenario for Call of Duty Zombies. Simply just release a free-to-play standalone game that is separate from everything else, separate from multiplayer, separate from Warzone.
The standalone game.
Call of Duty Zombies.
Yeah,
make it the
that's what I was thinking.
Play, and the portal where everyone can enjoy and play zombies in Call of Duty. Round-based zombies, Outbreak, Grief mode coming back, mod support, Zombies Chronicles, whatever you gotta do.
Zombies is big enough to merit its own game. I literally just went on Call of Duty's channel the past week or so. So many of the top viewed trailers for Call of Duty are zombies. Like, the Transit trailer has almost 10 million views, and they have still not decided to make its own standalone game. That is mind-blowing to me, especially because one of their studios pioneered it. How have they not ever gotten the rights to make their own game for it? It's absolutely upsetting.
There could be so much potential if they actually just made a separate project where Treyarch or potentially a different dev team or maybe multiple teams could work on just zombies for Call of Duty. That would absolutely be a banger idea. It would allow them to
it would be
make
more income for
experiences
Activision
without having to worry about how it's going to fit in the multiplayer schedule or the Warzone schedule or, you know, the different DLC and season releases and stuff like that. If they put 100% of their focus and attention into a free-to-play Call of Duty Zombies experience that could get updated for years, that would be incredible. I think fully agree. Truly the only way that they can make COD Zombies peak beyond what Black Ops 3 had to offer. Honestly, man, with an idea like this, there's just endless potential. Like, we could have an actual Zombies campaign mode where you can play on recruit.
Bro, that's what I was thinking. A Zombies campaign, even a Zombies multiplayer, which I guess is kind of what you see with Outbreak and maybe what we're seeing with DMZ and Modern Warfare 3, where in DMZ Modern Warfare 3, it's PvE, but in the original Modern Warfare 2 DMZ from last year, it should have been PvPvE. That would have been an amazing multiplayer mode for Zombies. Like, there's so many things that they can do. They've had so many ideas. Grief, Rush, Gauntlets. They could literally even make like a Fall Guys game mode of all of these old games that they decided to do, where it just randomly cycles between one, and then you play that one for like a certain time period. That I understand having a time period, but with MW3, the 60 minutes just being DMZ, it's not even Zombies. It's just DMZ too, you know?
Hardened veteran, maybe even difficulties. You could have a leaderboard for that campaign where people can speed run. They can try to rack up the most amount of kills and stuff like that. There's so much they could do.
So much potential.
It just boils down to what do they really want to do as a company? Like, what's their focus? What kind of experiences do they want to create? And I think most importantly for their side of things, what's going to sell the most? What's going to make them the most amount of money? Now, in terms of
the thing is, though, is that there has already been proof that Zombie sells way more than even multiplayer DLC. And so it's just sad that they've resorted to the easy route of just spamming operator bundles rather than actually putting out a game where in time they would make more money. Instead, they just see it as how much can we milk it out right now, right? And that's where we are going to inevitably see just the destruction of COD, because there's no platform to build upon. Even some former devs at Blizzard have said that Activision is kind of just puppeteering the way that Blizzard works now. They're just sort of putting the Blizzard stamp of approval on everything, sending it out, and hoping that players buy it just because they enjoyed products from 10, 15 years ago. And that is going to run out. And you're already seeing it run out because people are getting upset with these games. The outcry on Reddit for Modern Warfare 3 Zombies is already insane. And so that is why people need to know that this is not a sustainable strategy that they're doing,
monetizing a game like this where it's free to play. That might not sound as appealing to them because, you know, people wouldn't have to pay that like $60 to $70 price tag to get into the game. But the whole point of making the game free to play is that you can get a larger player base. And once you have a larger player base, then you can figure out how to monetize that and how to actually make money off of it. And I'm pretty sure they would love this next idea. But if you had a standalone Call of Duty Zombies experience like that, you could easily sell bundles and skins and blueprints, and you could have a lot more flexible creativity because there's no need to make things realistic. You could have as much fun as you want with it. It's just crazy, man. Like, when I think of Call of Duty Zombies, I
think they're just too scared to separate bundles from all the different game modes that they have, and that is where it just hurts, because I know the Zombies community. I mean, me and Noah J probably spent so much on Gobblegums alone to buy like a beautiful car, man. Like, it's just so sad to see that this type of evolution has just basically been brain rotted now because of Warzone implementation. And it makes me wonder, how are they going to sustain this once the Warzone players go, right? Will this even be sustainable?
Potential. And it's kind of sad to see that that's like not their vision anymore. They don't see that. Like, just imagine if we had a COD Zombies game, like a standalone game where you could go for Easter eggs and there could be leaderboards for who completed them the fastest or who completed them first. And you could have a thing like that upcoming Bungie Extraction game where people who finished the Easter egg first, they could like have their names engraved somewhere on the map or something like that.
They think that extraction shooters are going to be the next fad, and I don't think that's actually going to pan out how they want it to be. And so because of that, they're just sort of wasting their resources and time again. And it makes me so sad, man, because it's like they already have a player base, but the longer they continue to just neglect us, and if COD 2024 bombs, like, they just lose everything. They lose the Warzone audience, they lose the Zombies audience, and then they lost everyone because they're trying to appeal to too many people at once. Like, I think that's the epitome of what MW3 is. They're trying to appeal to DMZ players, to zombie players, to multiplayers, to multiplayer players, to Warzone players, and then at the end, it appeals to nobody. right? And that's
like
the
that. There's
that's
so
the
much they
key
can
to
do.
their
But yeah, man, tying it back into
downfall
Modern
here.
Warfare 3 Zombies and what we're going to be getting for this year at least, my main takeaway is that if you are actually planning to buy Modern Warfare 3, do not buy the game
I agree.
for zombies.
Do not buy it for zombies. Buy it for MP. Don't even play
this
zombies.
Is all that the zombies mode
yes.
is going to be. And yeah, man, I mean, I think I offered a lot of amazing advice and suggestions and feedback for what they could do for Call of Duty Zombies.
I agree,
and it's only
Great
a matter
video.
of whether or not they actually want to listen to the community. Because listen, man, I know.
And I mean, listen, it usually doesn't pan out how we want. But ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Merc. Check out his video on MW3 Zombies. I just love that point that he said there and wanted to expand on it. Boys, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm also not buying MW3, boys. It's not